There, they just backed in. I am so glad that works out.
What's that?
Uh, yes. So that's so low, she can get her in
Aloha.
and out now.
I want to wait just a minute for Rosalie is bringing her 99-year-old mother in from the outside, so she's getting her in her wheelchair. So if we could just take a moment to appreciate what it takes for those who are caregivers of children and older folks. She's watching her care for her mama here has been a beautiful gift to me, to just the tenderness that she takes care of her. Have any of you met Rosalia's mama? Her name is Maria. So there's the, thank you. So, yes. Oh, there she comes. Yes, I could. Karen is not here this morning, so I'm standing in this way. So here's your program.
Bravely taking it on.
Well, it was about 8 o'clock, and or just about 8, and she said, "I'm not going to be able to come. Can you do both roles?" And it's like, okay. So I said yes. So welcome each one. We have a couple of new people. Sandra, Lilith was here with us yesterday for the circle. We had a beautiful time in the friendship hall from 1 to 3. We're starting to do these gatherings often to just be able to have an open place, an open hearts, open minds place for people to come and share their stories and their hearts. And so we've done that now 3 different weeks with beautiful folks showing up. And Rosalia, thank you for bringing your Mama Maria. I think we ought to all say, what's the word for welcome in Spanish? Bienvenida. Bienvenida, Maria. Glad you came to join us. I have a program right here. So we have another newcomer person. I think, I don't know if we have lays for you, but you want to share who you are and what you're doing in this area? I appreciate you coming. Sure.
I'm here as my brother for 3 months.
And any other new folks besides Maria? We have a little pet, a doggy that I noticed came in. Well, what's her name, his name?
His name is Yoda. He's been here quite a bit.
Oh, he has. Yoda's here. Thank you. Anybody else new? Since it's such a small group, could everybody just say their name out loud? Just to say your name, just so people know who's here. Lilith? Shoshana? Larry? Oh, there we go. Yoda. Yoda's here. Uh-huh. And Lee? Greg. Okay, awesome. So yeah, welcome, and I guess that's that. So, and y'all say your names. You're beautiful choir people here.
Kyoki.
Nancy.
So yes, nice to have everybody here. So we're going to start with Teach Your Children Well, and it's in in the white book in front of you. Let's be sure everybody has it. I'm going to use the pad for it if I can find it. Okay, right. Okay. I'll sit here. So, Teach Your Children Well. It's a Graham Nash song. Some of you remember it from way back.
White book, and I hear tea.
White book.
You are on the road, must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you'll cry. So look at them inside and know they love you. And you of tender years and know the fears that your elders grew by. And so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's health will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick is the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you why. So look at them inside and know they love you, and know they love you. On a whole, and know they love you.
I'm giving it to Greg. He's going to read a poem. First thing I heard from this fellow was that he was, a young woman said to me, he's my Hana grandfather. And I thought of you yesterday to share this poem and your voice. So since we have a lay, since Karen's not here, we're going to share the laity role with others. So.
Well, I've been drafted. my eyes aren't at their best, and nor is my hearing. And I hope I keep this mic close to my mouth. I guess that's the trick. Now, pardon me for having to hold the paper close to my face. A magnificent for our time. A meditation inspired by Luke 1:46 through 55. My soul sings, not for the kings or conquerors, but for the one who upends them. My spirit rejoices, not in power or privilege, but in the holy presence, who dwells with the lowly, who hears the silenced, who remembers the forgotten. God has looked upon the humble with eyes of compassion, not with suspicion, not with surveillance, but with favor, holy, unsettling favor. From now on, let all generations bless the ones this world curses, the single mother, the refugee child, the queer teen, the unhoused elder, the brave whistleblower. The Holy One has done great things, not in marble halls, but in dusty back roads and kitchen tables, where the hungry are fed and the proud are sent away, not in wrath, but in holy reversal. God's mercy pulses through the generations like a heartbeat, steady, defiant, compassionate. God has scattered the arrogant, whose hearts are full of flags and fear. God has toppled tyrants from their thrones, whether they wear crowns or robes or tailored suits. The lowly rise, not alone, but lifted by justice, by grace, by the labor pains of love. God fills the hungry not with bread, but with dignity, and the rich who hoard and steal and call it blessing, they go away empty unless they too learn to kneel. This is the promise, not the domination, but deliverance, not nationalism, but kinship, not empire, but beloved community. This is the gospel through the warm, fierce heart of Mary, a young woman, brown-skinned and bold, singing a revolution, an evolution of love with a lullaby.
So Greg and I share this love of poetry and this love of the scripture and the poetry that it is. This is Mary's Magnificat, and I was inspired to write it to bridge and to heal some of the divisions that are happening. So thank you all for coming. I see that Krista has joined us. She works with the Keiki Exchange right across the way, and Woodley and Sandra and I went over and talked to her about the needs of children in this community, and that is very close to my heart. I'd love to dream up a foster grandparent program for kids. There's so many amazing elders in this congregation that I'd love to see some more interaction between the kids and the elders. I grew up with a lot of close relationships with great-grandparents and grandparents. So that's what my sermon and my talk is today about, really honoring the wisdom that is held in the hearts and minds of the elders. So that's what we're here for. So I'll share from Psalms, this reading from Psalm 78, 1 through 4. My people hear my teachings. Listen to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth with a parable. I will utter hidden things, things from old, things from of old, things our ancestors told us. We will not hide them from their descendants. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of our God, how God comes in surprising ways through the old and the young. So that's today. So I'm going to sing a song for you. I'll put the mic back, Tim. There it goes. So I received my Morning Star name the week before my granddaughter was born, and her birth, I was there for it, like in the room, and the catcher, and the doctor was late, and I was just, the nurses were saying we have to wait on the doctor, and I was like, nope. So we birthed Kenza, and me and the nurses, and it was just a moment of like, she's coming, we're catching. So this song is one of the first times I held her, I wrote this song. So, and it's emotional for me because it's the truest loves. It's been my grandmother's and my granddaughter. Did you rock all night? Did you hold her so close? Did your heart fall open like a flower? Did her breath rise sweet in between your breath? Did you almost remember what the baby knows? What the baby knows? What the baby knows? the baby knows just where the love comes from. Did she draw you in to her eyes so deep? Did she call you back to the beginning with no words to say? Did she teach you to pray? Did she light a candle in your temple? What the baby knows, what the baby knows. The baby knows just where the love comes from. So when she was I wrote this poem. When she said her first words were a song to me. I had a song for her, and she had one for me. At 6 months old, we were sitting in a Mexican restaurant, and there's her little dimpled face, and she babbled her very first words. Kinza, her name, is an Arabic word. She's named after her great-great-grandmother, who's a Berber indigenous woman from Morocco. And her name means treasure. Babies come to wake us up. She looked into my eyes and opened her mouth, and out it came. This word song is truly music to and from the heart of the world. La, 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 she said. I sang them back to her. La, 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 la. Back and forth in our duet, our love song, this little miracle of communication and connection. She lived next door and was born next door, so every day of her life I was there to bathe her and take care of her while her mother was getting a master's degree and her father was running an Apple store. So we traveled this summer with family and 24 friends to Morocco to see her other grandmother, Habiba, whose indigenous roots are Berber. Along the Sahara Desert, we rode camels with my grandchildren in the Sahara. And we were taking a group of 30 people to experience the World's Sacred Music Festival, 44 concerts, a cultural event designed to bring peace to the world by recognizing the beauty and the power of all sacred songs that come from the heart. Her whole sweet round face shined up at me, black eyes, dimples, rings of dark curls, lit up with joy and an instant of knowing her purpose. Clearly she came into the tumult of this earth, the clashes between the cultures and religions, the war between the worlds of her parents, a Tennessee small-town girl and a Moroccan man from within the monarchy. Clearly she came for this moment in time to bring her sacred song, to wake us up with her la 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 la. Do you remember? La 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 la. Do you remember your first words? Do you remember your baby's first words? The sacred song is the music of every child and music to the ears of the elders of every culture. Truly, that is the world's sacred music. Ooh. So let's join me in the call to worship. If anybody would like to read it, Pua, would you like to lead us in the call to worship? Okay, let's stand, please, to the call to worship.
If you're able, if you are able.
God waits with us like a woman in labor, breathing through the pain, holding space for what is yet to be born.
Let us worship the God who waits, births, nurtures, and frees.
God will not forget us. Our names are engraved on the palms of holy hands, held close with everlasting compassion.
Let us
Worship the God who waits, births, nurtures, and frees. Christ calls out, longing to gather us like a mother hen, sheltering us beneath wings of mercy. Let us worship the God who waits, births, nurtures, and frees.
God stirs the nest, spreads wings beneath us as we fall and fly, guiding us into the freedom of love.
Let us worship the God who waits, births, nurtures, and frees. And join us in the opening hymn. It is number 2051 in the Black Book. It's the FWS, the free to sing, I guess. Okay. Oh, you can sit down. We'll sing. Sit. Well, I mean, only two are standing, so.
If you like to sit down.
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
I was there to hear your warning cry. I'll be there when you are old. I rejoice the day you were baptized to see your life unfold. I was there when you were but a child, with a faith to suit you well. In a blaze of light you wandered off to find where demons dwell. You heard the wonder of the word. I was there to cheer you on. You were raised to praise the living Lord, to whom you now belong. If you find someone to share your time, and you join your hearts as one, I'll be there to make your verses run from dusk till rising sun. In the middle ages of your life, not too old, no longer young, I'll be there to guide you through the night, complete what I've begun. In the evening shadows gently close, and you close your weary eyes, I'll be there as I have always been, with just one more surprise. I was there to hear your warning cry. I'll be there when you are old. I rejoice the day you were baptized to see your life unfold. Thank you. So we have a poem of, let's see, I gave it to read to Rosalia. It's on my phone. I can read it. Okay, this is last week when you gave me words to make a poem, as we have each week for 3 weeks. The offering basket has brought me this basket of words, and I just want to read simply your words back to you that you gave me. Last week we did it in Spanish and Hawaiian, which is pretty complex, but today I'll just give you the words you wrote, so you hear that I'm listening and that I want to create out of your stories the future of congregations and communities is not in speaking but in listening. So I want you to know I'm here listening to the poetry that's coming forth from each of you, the stories, the faith journeys that you have, the struggles that you're having, bridging all the violence in the world today. I hear you. I want you to know. So here's what you said. Last week you said, we feel wonderful today to hear in the darkness the tinkling of stars. Don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened. Summoning bells, rainbow of unity, loving kindness, gardens of flowers and ferns, children laughing and playing, songbirds singing, morning light blowing bubbles, the fragrance of love. Embrace the love, the fragrance of love. We had flowers in the center yesterday that you brought in the center of the circle, and we told that was our talking piece, was holding one of your beautiful fragrant flowers, almost like prayers for those words. So that came true. And then the word jingle, the only word on the paper was jingle, and God is love. And then one, this little heart of mine ringing the church bells. This little heart of mine ringing the church bells. Somebody wrote that on a piece of paper. So let's have a moment of silence, and we'll work with the prayers of the people in a moment. So a moment, take a deep breath, and let it out with a sigh. So you have some prayers to share. I want to pass on a couple. I heard that Linda is not doing well and would like your prayers. So at the end of each phrase, we'll say, God, hear our prayers. So prayers for Linda. And more. Okay. So let's say together, God, hear our prayers. Any other? Yeah. We're breathing with you.
And another prayer for safe journey for Woodley and Julie. They're in Japan, just moving around there, enjoying the sights, touring Japan. She'll be back on Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
Tuesday.
right.
So this is Pastor Diane last Sunday with us for a little while.
Yeah.
So praise and be. And thank you so much for the generosity you've been giving to donating food for our ministry food bank and Honganji in our community, feeding lots of people every day, over 200 people. So
Beautiful.
much blessings. Thank
So
you so
we
much.
say together, God, hear our prayers. Any other celebrations or your daughter-in-law, Meg? Thank you. Any other prayers for people who are ill? A prayer of celebration for those who are bridging the worlds, the ones in the street yesterday and the ones in the Friendship Hall, and this open space to see we're not going to be, we're indivisible, we're not going to be divided. We're going to let the power of love overcome the love of power. And I hold that as the deepest prayer as a grandmother. Oh God, hear our prayers. Oh God, hear our prayers. Samantha. Oh God, hear our prayers. And Krista, do you have a word to share about your work here? And I'm so touched by it, and I'd just like to offer you a chance to lift it up. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. May it rain, may it rain. Or maybe may it be dry for the diaper, So let's say, God, hear our prayers, all these prayers from our hearts. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Aloha. Okay. God, hear our prayers. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to each other. We're building a web of listening.
Welcome, brother. Just take a program.
Yes. Yeah, there's a program. Yes. Hi. Glad you're here. You could say your name if you like, and we'll give you a good aloha. Travis. Aloha. Glad you're here. So there's an online giving option, and there's baskets there. At some point, we might share those around. There's a basket here and one in the back, but that's where you can put your love offerings. And now we'll sing the Hawaiian music, the Hawaiian doxology. It's on the open red book, back flap.
Cover of the red hymnal.
O nani makua mau e keiki me ta uhane no e akua mau I mai kaipu ko ke ia a ko ke la au
And now, Pua will read our scripture passages for today. Pua, the scripture. Oh, you sit down. Okay. Well, they're all sitting. I don't. Yeah. You don't have to.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, here we are. Isaiah 42:14. For a long time I have held my peace. I have kept still and restrained myself. Now I will cry out like one in labor. I will gasp and pant together. Isaiah 49, 15 through 16. Can a woman forget her nursing child or show no compassion for the child of her womb? Even these may forget, yet I will not forget you. See, I have inscribed you on the palms of my hands. The walls of your city are continually before me. Matthew 23, 37. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you. How often have I wanted to gather your children together as a mother hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing. So be it.
The word for the people of God, thank you. Thank you for these images that open our minds and our hearts. That's what our sign out here says. These reading passages can connect us back to who we are, who we come from. So today I'm going to share this sermon I've entitled The Heart of the Lamb, One Grandmother's Story. I'm not presuming that my story is everybody's story. I believe God is creative enough to come to all of us in our deepest need and our deepest celebration. And so I'm just sharing my story as a window into what I've experienced as God. So aloha and good morning. I'm grateful to be here and to share a story that is foundational to the way I practice my Christian faith in the world. In my family, I had the gift of having all my parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents around me, and dozens of aunties and uncles and cousins all living on the same farm for 7 generations, 8 generations now. And this sermon was written and published at a time when I was really recognizing how unique my life experience was. I didn't know that there was anybody else in the world that I wasn't kin to, because everybody was so close, and I could go in anybody's house. They fed me. It was being born in real love. And there were a couple of dangerous people, but I didn't ever get hurt, because those dangerous and broken-hearted people I come to see that were in my family, I was protected by my grandmothers. Like, I had a charmed life. I was the oldest. I was adored. And I thought that that's how everybody ought to be treated. So I've lived my life like every stranger I meet, like it's just somebody, it's family I haven't met yet, and somebody else to love and somebody else's story to learn from and grow from. So I wrote this sermon in 1993. I had just gotten to become a pastor at my home Methodist church. And but a woman had asked me to do, I'm a writer. I stuttered for 20-something years. So I wrote this because I couldn't speak back then. But the memory was my earliest spiritual experience. And I invite each of you, as I tell this story, to go back in your memory to your earliest experience of love, of unconditional love. It might have been a grandmother, it might have been an uncle, it might have been somebody who let you have a window into what love is. So this is mine, though. As I shared the story, it resonated both with women and men who are peacemakers, who dream a world of peace. The one I grew up in was pretty peaceful, and I want that for everybody. And I came to see there's so much brokenheartedness. So I shared this sermon because it was the feminine language for God that's all through the scripture. That Bible study we had done, hundreds of people participated and told their favorite stories from the Bible and ones that had touched them. And so I gave it to male pastors in Tennessee. There had been so few women ministers that was just taboo. And so they would take my sermons for Mother's Day and for other things and share them. And many of them had experiences with their own grandmothers, so it was real for them too. But I'll start with this experience that, sort of more traumatic experience, that was the heart of helping me discern that God's creative. So the heart is the center of life, the seat of passion, the source of power. To live from the heart is to be fully human. So what did it mean? At the tender age of 8, I promised to give my heart to Jesus at 8 years old. Over 20 years later, I still wonder what that was that I gave my heart to. It was Halloween night. It was a revival in my town, and it was 60 years ago. This Pentecostal church was electric with emotion, loud singing, clapping, praying, a fiery sermon from a very heated up preacher. The altar call came after threats of hell and pleas for repentance. I sat between my aunt and my cousin watching this scene unfold and wishing I was at home with my grandmother, Leslie Richardson, my father's mother. She lived right down the street. But although I was used to church, we went twice a week. My Methodist background was quieter and less dramatic, but that night's sermon, filled with words like redemption and atonement and all those words, I didn't know what they meant, but the word hell I understood. And so this description of this eternal fire with vivid certainty, I began to sweat. Guilt flooded me. I searched back through everything I had done wrong at 8. And I remembered going off in the back of the farm to smoke grapevine wreaths. We cut them off and lit them, and then we're pretending to smoke with each other. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could burn for this. So I was really like, but I had my aunts there sort of, but I thought, I better give my heart to Jesus, because I was terrified. And part of my stuttering was being surrounded by people who held these beliefs. And I didn't know who I could trust. So I went down there. At first he switched his tone then. So he started talking about Jesus, the shepherd with his lambs. Give your heart to Jesus and you won't feel the fire. You give your heart, you get to be a lamb of Jesus. You can be meek, you can follow along, and that will protect you. So I thought I could probably do that. I can be a good girl, So no pain, no responsibility, just gentle following. And then I surrender all, So the fearful flock moved forward en masse, overwhelmed. I did too. I fell at the front. I'm sorry for my sins. I smoked a grapevine. I stole some candy out of the store. I hit my brother. I'm so sorry. The preacher laid his hand on my head and he said, do you want Jesus to come into your life? And I said, yes. And just like that, it was over. I never went back to that church. But I walked to Granny's house where she sat quietly in the dark. She probably kind of knew what was going on. And she was watching for Halloween spooks. I poured out my story, and she pulled me gently into her lap, her strong, beautiful presence, her brown, hairless arms. She's part Cherokee. Wrapped around me and calmed me. Later, under piles of handmade quilts on her bed, she asked, what do you want for breakfast? And I whispered, pancakes and bacon and coffee. Her pancakes looked like little fishes. She made them in the corners where they were shaped. She only let me drink coffee that was like 3/4 milk and a little sugar and a dab of coffee. But beside her, I felt warm and safe and loved. At school the next day, I told my best friend Patsy I had given my heart to Jesus. She squeezed my hand and whispered, me too. And then we ran off to play. Years later, I'm still asking big questions about God, about love, about truth. When I hurt the most, I've learned to release distorted, inherited images of God as kings and judges and shepherds that don't match my experience. I pray instead to a God who feels real, one who keeps promises, one whose hand I trust, whose love I felt in my granny's arms. I believe Jesus reflected God's vast love, but I don't pray to a bearded man in sandals. Can't God meet each of us in ways we can understand? Why do we speak only of God the Father and rarely of God our Mother? The grandmothers are scattered all through the Scriptures. The Scriptures have stories that are hidden and that aren't preached about and aren't shared, but those help me come to life again. When women are taught to give our hearts to something other, something opposite, it's no wonder we sometimes lose ourselves. Only now, I was grieving, this was in 93, I was grieving what I thought I'd lost on that Halloween night, my own power, my voice. I was a sensitive child and stuttered my whole childhood. That preacher, however well-meaning, used fear to manipulate us, and it shaped me. Preparing a sermon decades later, I wondered whether I, as a new pastor, as a woman, could or should offer an altar call. I talked to Woodley about it, like, I can't do that. I don't want to manipulate anybody I don't want to make anybody afraid. So the memory came rushing back. I felt the weight of what it means to try and stand and speak for God. I pray we're not raising churches of people who lost their hearts to a distorted gospel. Jesus, in truth, offered a way beyond this dualism, a vision of wholeness, of a love deeper than fear. He named evil, but he also revealed beauty and possibility. He called it the reign of God, the kingdom of God, a dream of how life could be. So for years, after trying to be perfect, I avoided my darkness, my capacity to do harm, the shadow. I suppressed emotions and longed for approval. But in time, I began to see my pain and my fears, and healing began. I no longer have to pretend. The God I know gave me back my heart. The French word is coeur. It's the heart, the courage to speak here in this place. I'm sweating all over, y'all, because of those traumatic experiences. I want to be part of a church where people are safe to share their fears so they don't metastasize into something awful, and where we can protect each other with nurturing and kindness and listening, and maybe a little rocking every now and then. And some rocking chairs that we'll get over there for Krista. We'll go pretend to soothe ourselves as we soothe the babies that are going through the traumas right now. There's many places where it's not safe. That's what true mothering does. It gives us our hearts back. Hearts break, get blocked, crushed, stolen, but love, especially mothering love, restores. Granny gave me many gifts, but the greatest was the fierce, quiet love she lived. She raised me with gentleness, stories, playing marbles, quilts, and calm strength, but she suffered deeply, losing 3 babies when they were toddlers after the Depression, and her parents. I learned that God is love, present in sorrow and joy, holding us through it all. Her silence was the grief of Beatrice and Alvin and Henry D. that died before they were 5. The only words I had in her handwriting, I'm a writer because my grandmother's words were written in the front of her Bible, the births and deaths of those babies, and on her almanac, the planting time she would put down in her. And so I treasured a copy of that. I still have it because she couldn't speak, but her love was so immense. So I'm sorry. I still wonder how she survived so much loss and remained so giving, but she did. Through her, I came to trust that God never abandons us. I became a writer to listen and to share the stories, poems, visions, dreams that Granny could not express. I've made a life of gathering people in circles around the world and sharing these stories from the heart that make us whole. Mothering isn't perfect. It's human. She had a scar on her leg where she missed the tree and wounded her own leg. She had this big cut. But she was about 6 feet tall. She was something. Good mothering is eternal. It shapes us, teaches us to love, and lives on. And I understand the Hawaiian way of the ancestors because my granny is with me still. Like if I get sick, she had a medicine cabinet. She had things, and she'll guide me and in my dream and open that cabinet door and show me, take this if you got a cough, or like she's still present with me in an amazing way. So I want to boil this down. Some are mothers biologically, but all of us can do this mothering work. All of us, whether we experienced it or not, because it's not all sweetness and light, But there's 4 essential phases of mothering. I did the Bible studies back then about and found the images of the 4 phases: waiting, birthing, nurturing, and freeing. So I'm just going to go through this quickly. I live near the farm. It's Summertown, Tennessee, with the midwives, and they taught me a lot about what it is to offer free birth and peaceful birth, and I got to experience those. So pregnancy is a time of both joy and struggle, a season of waiting, preparing, stretching ourselves physically and emotionally. And so, my own pregnancies, like all the things you do to prepare your house. And I was building a flower bed the day I was going to deliver Eric, and, with bricks and mortar. Like it's a fierce thing you have when you're waiting to give birth. And pregnancy brings we start to adjust our needs to the life of another. We stretch beyond our personal and learn to love in the process. It brings questions, hopes, fears. We do not simply assent to God's presence. We incarnate it at the cost of our own flesh and life, giving life, whether physically or spiritually. It asks for self-giving love to be pregnant. And it continues long after birth. We wait through tantrums. We wait through mistakes, rebellion. God, too, has waited. In Deuteronomy 32, it's, you were unmindful of the rock that bore you. And from Isaiah, for a long time I've held my peace, will now moan, cry out like a woman in labor. Even Jesus, lamenting over Jerusalem, longed to gather his people as a hen gathers her brood. Waiting is holy. It connects us like the womb connects mother and child to the divine life within us. So birthing. Birth is sacred and painful. Psalm 22 says, it was you who took me from the womb. I've been present for the birth of my children, my sister's children, like I said, with Kinza being there to catch her. And I felt God's Spirit moving in those birthing rooms, alive in the cries, the sweat, the awe, the relief. When my sister's baby was born, I felt her fear and joy. They expected, she had had a boy, and everybody in the family were boys. And when Julie was born, her face shone, Gail's face shone with astonished joy. It felt like holy ground. Jesus, too, compared pain and joy in labor to spiritual birth. You will have pain now, but your hearts will rejoice. Every birth, spiritual or physical, requires letting go of old selves and being reborn. We become mothers and midwives to each other, holding hands as we walk through suffering into new life. So the third phase is nurturing. The core of mothering in Isaiah reminds us that even if a mother forgets her child, God never forgets. Our hands are engraved on the palms of God's hands. This God, like our mother, comforts us in sorrow and meets us in our needs. Sometimes when I'm tired or grieving, I surrender the mask that says, I'm fine, and wait for that maternal presence, those strong brown arms and eternal eyes. I cry, I rage, I rest, I am restored. And each day when I see the dawn and the morning star, I'm reminded that I'm loved. Venus, it's the morning I came here to have 40 days and 40 nights. I put myself in timeout to come and reconnect with love, the deepest love I could find. My mother's 91, still lives on the farm, but I came here to be able to love more clearly what is happening in my places. So my granny, I had that little bit of handwriting and the names of the babies she lost. Her grief silenced her, but her love shaped my life. I'm speaking for her. Her legacy of strength, shaped by hunger, racism, and loss and violence, became my spiritual work. My healing from childhood stuttering became a voice to speak for her and for justice and to gather people in circles. Good mothering, this is freeing. This is the last part, and then we'll sing the Eagle's Wings song because that's always been dear to my heart too. Good mothering gives freedom, roots and wings. A loving parent must one day let go, allowing children to try, fail, grow. Smothering is not mothering. It's not good mothering. Deuteronomy 32 paints God as a mother eagle who stirs the nest, catches her wings. She lets the babies fall, and then she flies up under and to let them experience her support, and then drops out to let them learn to fly on their own. So that freedom, her trust was a tether that keeps us safe. Like my mother let my kids do all kinds of dangerous things to help them get strong and to get free, climbing up rocks behind her house. And I would be saying, but mother knew, their grandmother knew, and still offers them that intellectually even. Freedom is sacred as we honor mothers everywhere, biological and spiritual. We must remember all our lives are connected in this great web of love. We're not solitary souls, but woven together generation to generation since the beginning of time. And going forward, the 7 generations, that the giveaway is to alter your life and your living so that you have a real gift to pass on, a legacy. So I'm going to close with this final poem. And I want to ask you these questions. What grounds you when there are times of pain? What gives you peace? What helps you grow when there's a drought? Find that root and be grateful and become the root for those who follow. This poem, my granny was my mother root, my first deep experience of unconditional love. And I know in my heart that God is like that. I've sought out grandmothers the world over to learn from and to grow my capacity to offer love, joy, and generosity in that way. Creation needs 2 hearts. So look around and see, even if it's somebody on the other side, who's holding the root for you to bloom? Who's when you're blooming, who's holding the root for you then? Rosalia's holding the root for me this week to be able to do this, the true support that you've brought, and your courage has given me courage. And look, you're caring for your mama in this beautiful, beautiful way. So I just want to say how I got my Morning Star name was the week before my granddaughter was born. So it came to me at a coral dawn, and the sky was lit up, and I was really feeling overwhelmed by all the responsibility I'd taken on as that kind of grandmother. But I had my father's name, my first husband, and my second husband. Their names were Richardson, Saliba, and Alt. And I had beautiful relationships with the men in my life. But my true name is Diana Morningstar. It was given to me so that I could be the kind of grandmother to a granddaughter that mine were to me, so I could be the root. So I'll just share this poem. Creation often needs two hearts, one to root and one to flower, one to sustain in times of drought and hold fast against winds of pain. The fragile bloom that in the glory of its hour reveals a heart, affirms a heart, unsung and unseen. So who was your mother root? And who are you the mother root for? And that's just wherever two or more are gathered and have complete trust and love, then there's new life. There's possibility of transformation. And there's possibility to create, like Ubuntu is the African word for creating a circle of safety so strong that people can come in and be unconditionally supported. Halloween, when the spooks come, and when, are you at the door, you're saying, come on in. On Halloween, the door's open if the spooks come, and but have a container with, we're stronger together. When we have a lot of different people here holding a commitment, a covenant to be love, then anybody's safe and anybody can change and let go of the fear. And so that's what we're doing, right? So, okay, so, wow, that's a lot. And I appreciate you listening. It's a lot of this has never been spoken before, especially from a pulpit. So thank you for listening. So let's share on eagle's wings. And one of the ways when I couldn't talk, I could do liturgical dance. So I danced in churches all over the world. So when they sing on eagle's wings, I'm going to let you do this with me. We did it at annual conference in Tennessee, just this eagle's wing song. But you sing, and or you can dance with me. You want to dance with me, Boo? I'm not going to limit you. You're free. You can dance with me, or we can sing it. Okay. Okay. And we can it a cappella too, so it's easier. And everybody can catch on. It's just one line from Scripture. And God will raise us up on eagle's wings, bear us on the breath of dawn, make us to shine like the sun, and hold us in the palm of God's hand. So,
Let's play. It's on 143.
yeah.
In the middle, if you want to try again.
Let it flow. On eagle's wings, bear you on beneath of dawn, make you shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of God's hand. He'll raise you up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn. May you shine like the sun, and in the palm of God's hand.
So let's have have the benediction. I'm going to read with you, if we could. I've got it on here, but that's close enough. So this is the words written in Spanish and in Hawaiian. And if somebody can pronounce the Hawaiian word for wisdom. Na'a.
There's several words.
Okay, na'a'au. Na'a.
Na'au.
Okay, when it comes time, you can say that one. Na'a. No, you can say. Okay. Okay, so the benediction this is from your words last week. Go forth in light and wisdom.
Stay here.
Oh, no, we'll do this one. Oh, well, you're ready to do that one. Okay, we'll do that one. We feel wonderful today.
Tapua au ikaila.
We may need you, Kyoki. It's important to speak these other languages because it's the way we're included.
Pua'au ikalai la.
Hoy me siento gentil.
Such a day.
Na'a wow.
To hear in the darkness, hush, the tinkling of the stars, a soft jingle.
Campanitas del cielo.
Like a church bell ringing in the hush.
Na'au au.
Summoning bells call the soul, a rainbow of unity, hearts made whole. God is love.
Dios es amor.
Ke akua o ke aloha. Forevermore. Na'a wow.
In the gardens of flowers and ferns where the songbirds chirp and the sunlight returns, children laughing and playing in the dew, blowing bubbles too.
Na'au au.
Don't be sad. Porque terminó. Yeah.
Smile, porque terminó.
Aloha ke kahi I ke kahi.
Loving kindness from me to thee.
Na'au au.
Morning light in golden streams, bright as hopes and bubbling dreams, the fragrance of love, says the breeze.
Ale a amor.
Riding through the trees.
Na'au au.
So embrace the love, hold it tight. This little heart of mine shines bright with light.
Na'au au.
Ding dong, the bells will chime, ringing joy through sacred time, with jingle laugh and skies so blue.
Hoy, mañana y para siempre.
We love you. Na'au.
Au.
Thank you. Well, see that a little bit of discomfort goes along with this birthing thing, right? Just a little bit of discomfort. If we're always only hearing English words, or if we're always only hearing any language, this opens neural pathways in the brain. My daughter speaks 5 languages, including Arabic, and her way of thinking is changed because of that. So go forth in love and peace and joy and have a great day. And there's food, I guess, in the back.
Benediction.
Oh, well, this is the benediction for today. I printed the one from last week accidentally. You know, I was doing all the jobs today. Okay, thank you all. And this is the closing song. Will be in your hymnal in the red book.
E Hawaii e ku one anau e. Ku home ku lava ine. Oli nau a ina pono lani o. E Hawaii, aloha e haole na. no Hawaii. E haole na o pio o Hawaii ne. Holy Maina ahe makani e pai mai nei. Mau ke aloha no Hawaii. Mau ke aloha no Hawaii. E Hawaii, aloha,
Aloha e.
Thank you all for coming.